All right, Armored Core 6. It's been what, like a week, a little more. Yeah, no, it's been a week. Yeah, it's been a week since it came out. I haven't played it yet. I haven't really watched much gameplay of it because I do want to play it eventually. I just don't. I'm not day oneing it like a lot of people are. But I like Dunkey's reviews, so let's check out what he has to say about the game.
In the game Dark Souls, there is an enemy called Armored Boar.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he's called Fang Boar. So
Okay.
is Armored Core 6 an Armored Boar? Or is it more like doing chores? Well, I'll say this. It's no Pikmin 4. Before they were making games like Elden Ring, From Software was pumping out goofy crap like Eternal Ring. You see, back in those olden times, there was a genre of games called mech games, and there was a million of them.
Oh, yeah.
Zone of the Enders, Mech Assault, Frame Grind, Murakumo.
Yeah, there
Custom
haven't been that many
Robo,
mecha games
Virtual On,
recently, huh?
Bangay-O, Mobile Suit Gundam, so many Gundam games. Chrome Hounds, Lost Planet, Steel Battalion that you play with this controller. 3 of those games were by From Software. Back then, From Software was putting out 5 to 6 games a year. They were spammers. And while they did like to experiment, most of that output was Armored Core. They made a lot of
Yeah, I've seen that there's a lot of previous Armored Core games. Like, holy shit. Like, I think there's like a lot more than this, isn't there?
till Dark Souls. Today, From Software is one of the best game studios out there.
Hell yeah.
Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro was my game of the year in 2019.
I love
and
Sekiro.
Elden Ring was my game of the year last year. Armored Core 6 is nowhere near that level of quality.
Okay.
This is more like a guilty
Jesus.
pleasure game. In this game, you are a badass giant robot shooting the ever-living shit out of everything that you see at 300 miles per hour. To win, slam every button on the controller while screaming at the top of your lungs like a caveman. There is no thinking, no strategy, just blow shit up and go hee-haw. In a game like Elden Ring, nearly every enemy commands a certain level of respect. Even the lowliest
Armored Core, you
foe
just
can
spam the
kill
shit
you
out of
if you're
them.
not careful. In Armored Core, you will blast through 700 stupid fucking robots like nothing because they are made out of McDonald's toys. And then they send out some rinky-dink dumbass mini-boss and I annihilate him within 4 seconds because I do
Really?
not give a shit about this man. If that sounds stupid, it's because this game is stupid. This is mindless monkey mush that
Oh,
is
no.
like one cognitive step beyond Dynasty Warriors and Diablo. If I'm
Oh,
making
no,
this game
Donkey's
sound
not a
easy,
fan.
yeah, it's really easy, except for this one boss who's impossible. All of that being said, I kinda like it. The
Oh, okay,
movement
never
in this
mind.
game is so far beyond anything I've seen in a FromSoft game. Your mech is just gracefully gliding around the screen like a figure skater. with
Movement
enough
looks
weapons
clean,
to
yeah.
engage enemies at any range. Within 10 seconds of gameplay, you'll dodge 3 rockets, slide into a dude's face, blast him with a shotgun, then lock onto a group of helicopters in the distance with your missiles. And then there's the customization angle. The player has so much freedom in choosing how they approach the game. You can turn your mech into a massive tank with rocket launchers and cannons on its back, or you can be a nimble little guy with a machine gun and a laser sword. It's a lot of fun to cook up some wacky build and see how it actually fares in a mission. And if it sucks, it's not a big deal. It's a very simple system that wants you to experiment. I will say that the weapon balance
I
in this
did
game
hear that
is
you
about
you
as
do
good
have to like change your mech a lot throughout the game because there's a lot of different situations where you'll have to change your mech to suit whoever you're fighting.
the weapon balance
Which
in
is pretty
Elden
cool.
Ring. So not good. Once you do crack the code and formulate your dream machine, it's hard to walk away from that power. About halfway into my playthrough, I came up with this wheelchair robot with dual Gatling guns. This thing is unstoppable, and it completely trivialized the game. But listen, it was really funny. It was like a gigantic
Oh,
version
okay.
of that wheelchair you get in Dead Rising 2.
Yeah.
Remember that impossible boss I was talking about?
Yeah. Oh,
Where does health bar go? What's crazy is that you can probably build an even more powerful mech than this one. I really am curious to see what other people are gonna come
there's
up
like
with.
PvP, isn't there? I think I've seen that there's PvP, right?
For me, the fatal flaw
Wouldn't
of
surprise
Armored
me.
Core is that once you settle into the groove of how to win, you just start playing on autopilot. Going back to Elden Ring, that game is massive, and yet there is so much variety across its duration because every enemy has to be given some respect. You have to observe their moves and dodge their attacks, so it's like every enemy is slightly altering the rules of the game. Armored Core allows players to get fancier than they ever could in Elden Ring, but because you can apply the same strategies to nearly every boss and enemy in the game, it feels kinda one note. For players that really want to challenge themselves
Oh,
and sink
there's
their teeth into this
rankings?
game, you can go for the S rank on every mission. Although
Yeah.
I have been spoiled by Pikmin's ranking system that actually tells you what to do. This game's ranking system is like trying to pass the swimming test at the water park and the lifeguard isn't paying attention. Armored Core 6
What
is
the
a
fuck?
throwback
Okay.
to the spammy bullshit PS2 era from software. And while I did enjoy it, it is not a game that holds up under any sort of scrutiny or analysis. I am happy to see FromSoft branching out though, and who knows, maybe someday we will get a Sekiro level mech game or a sequel to the Adventures of Cookie and Cream
What the hell? What the hell was that?
game or a
The Adventures of Cookie and Cream from Software. Wow. Okay. Wow. How far they've come. Holy shit. All right. That was cool. I like that review. That was interesting. I did hear someone else's review saying that like it's not like that. It's not like an amazing game like you would expect from like from Software Soulsborne kind of game, but they did say it is a good foundation for for them to make an amazing game later down the line. And I mean, knowing From Software, I'm sure they'll come up with something insane in the future if they keep they keep making these Armored Core games.